Burris, Steve Krakauer, Asia Grace. You know, these candidates know that they have only moments to capture America's and voters' attention. But does RFK Jr. have a point here that the vitriol is getting played? Asia Grace, I'm going to start with you.
100%. I mean, this was less about talking about taking positive action and more about throwing the shade and nastiness of a Love and Hip Hop reunion. I mean, it was very rough to watch. And honestly, RFK Jr. did make a lot of good points. You know, millennials and Gen Zs are very concerned about their futures, Social Security benefits, how we're going to raise a family with student loan debt on our back, and we're in inflation. And I mean, buying a house. At this point, everybody 39 and under might as well just get some tents and an outhouse and call it Dear Help Us Godville, because, you know, things are really rough. So let's talk about that rather than, you know, your poster you made at home.
And, yeah, speaking of the poster, I want
poster.
to ask about that. Evie, I'll get your take. Do you think it's one of those things where people say, I want substance, I want to hear about the issues, because who admits to loving mass chaos and the handwritten attacks on stage? But do you think on the inside, most people actually kind of like watching the circus and end up voting on, you know, party and personality instead?
You know, I think it's the clicks and the reels and social media that kind of driven us into this space. And it's interesting because I started as an agent under the Clinton administration, and I've worked a lot of campaign trails and protected candidates to include presidents. And I've seen this like slow deterioration of, I guess, the quality of the substance during these debates. And I think it's definitely taken a nosedive since the introduction of social media, where it's just a click, I get a soundbite, I get addicted to the drama, and I move to the next clip and the next clip and whatever goes viral.
Yeah. Steve?
I'm sorry. I just want to let me just defend America for a second.
Go right ahead.
Listen, I do agree that there is an element of this. I think you got Vivek Ramaswamy said, oh, go eat a hamburger to Chris Christie. Okay, that's a little below the belt, sure. But I think it's a combination. There's a reason that Joe Rogan is the top podcast in America. He guys sits there and does 3-hour conversations. There's no viral moment in most of these conversations. People want substance too. And I think when you have a 2-hour piece of content, which is what the debate was on Wednesday night, you will find what you're looking for. If people want substance, there was a ton of substance and substantive answers and substantive disagreements. You know, just because you have a strong disagreement between two candidates does not make that not a substantive moment also. Yeah, there were some fireworks. It was fiery at times, but part of what made it the whole was you got really into some issues that Americans cared a lot about. I would say things like trans ideology was one where they got into the meat of it. This was not like fiery, little clicks and clickbait. This was like, let's get to what really matters here. And to a lot of Americans, that was important.
But those aren't the bites that actually make a lot of the tweets. Those are the moments that are substantive. I love what you said there, Steve. But how do candidates boil things down in a way that actually will trend online? Because you can't boil every solution down into a soundbite.
Well, I guess you do what Vivek Ramaswamy did, which is give a 2-minute answer, but then hold up a sign that says Nikki equals corrupt. And then there's your meme. You know, you've got the meme, and then you've also got the 2 to 3 minute explanation of why Nikki equals corrupt. You kind of do a little bit of both.
You got to get creative today.
And I don't think her response got enough play. You know, it ends with the sign, but I loved her response of, do you want to answer? Nope. You know, she took the high road. Okay, speaking of things that were talked about on that debate stage, also we talked about global conflicts, the Israel-Hamas war, the troubling rise in anti-Semitism that we've seen across the world and the country. New fallout this morning that we wanted to touch on from recent congressional testimony over anti-Semitism on college campuses, as the University of Pennsylvania's president, Liz McGill, faces calls to resign. You know, Evie, let me start with you. I know you're an adjunct professor here. I watched that video that the Penn president released yesterday, doing a 180 and about face of what she didn't say in that hearing. What do you think changed in 24 hours? Because she really evaded questions in that hot seat about anti-Semitism, is calling for the genocide of Jews, going against school conduct, and then she changed her tune a day later. So what happened in 24 hours?
You know, first let me say this. As an adjunct professor, I teach on a college campus. I teach criminal justice. If you don't have a safe environment, there is no learning. You owe not just the professors, but the students a safe environment. If they don't feel safe, it's impossible to learn. And that always starts from the top. And it's become where we want to be so inclusive, but then it stems all the way to one direction where now it hurts another entity. And so we have to find that balance. So you owe safety to people.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.